Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the 2015 Outstanding Achievement Award, Dr. Catherine Zahn.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, it's been very hard sitting here for the whole evening, waiting to stand up here. And I'll start by thanking you and saying how honored I am to receive this award tonight. And of course, I'm extremely humbled by the awesome company that I'm in this cohort of awardees. But I'm also very acutely aware of the fact that I'm standing between you and the highway. So I'll start by mentioning, actually perhaps confessing, that I was born in the USA. and tonight's the American Thanksgiving. So it feels very, very fitting to be giving thanks for this recognition. The evening's been as warm and as wonderful as any family dinner that I've had, including the mini turkey that we were served. And it's had the added bonus of not requiring me to defend my political views. I grew up in a small town in north central Ohio, surrounded by rural communities. I had the most gentle upbringing. I was protected and I was supported by kind parents, five siblings, and an enormous extended family. But the trade-off for that sheltered childhood was a very, very specific and narrow worldview, as you would know from the bright red color of my county on the recent electoral map. Now, in those days, while I dreamed of becoming a doctor, that teenage ambition had no context for conjuring my life as it's unfolded. My medical role model was our wonderful family doctor, Walter Daniel. He removed a fishbone from my throat, he burned the warts off of my fingers, and he pierced my ears. But most importantly, he modeled the respectful and humble behavior that I've tried to emulate throughout my entire career. But back then, I was just the Betty Crocker homemaker of tomorrow. Somehow, I escaped the careers predicted by my grandmas. One, who consistently noted my sturdy legs throughout my childhood, believed that I was destined for manual labor. My other lovely grandma immersed me in Lives of the Saints, and she thought that I was destined for the convent. But the person who challenged me to expect anything and everything is my husband of 45 years, Jeff, who's here with me tonight. Also a York grad. I came to York by accident. Jeff had been admitted to the graduate department in English to study linguistics, and he persuaded me somehow that it would be an adventure to cross an international border just because. But my first taste of a life about to be amplified was registering for my courses at York. So remember, as an American with the last name of Zahn, I was directed to something mysterious called the Z line. And really. But the sad thing is that, as shocking as that may seem to you, that was actually one of my first life experiences of diversity. But then it gets more serious. In undergraduate science at York, I met Eric, who told me about the flight of his family from Czechoslovakia, crossing the border in 1968 in a car with his family of 4, carrying papers for only 3. I met Prava from India, who tutored me to an A+ in organic chemistry. I met Desenka, one of the 3 women in my class to be accepted into medical school. And I met Professor Ron Perlman, who saw me as someone with potential and who, without any reservation, has supported and promoted me ever since. Now, during our first year on campus, Jeff and I made the personal decision that we belonged in this city and in this country. and my years at York became the fabric of a world where I learned to take risks. In the spring of that first year at York, I remember sitting reading by the recently created little lake, which Jeff reminds me was actually a pond. And I remember that we watched the tadpoles hatch. They grew legs and they hopped out of the grass as baby frogs. And simultaneously, I personally grew the curiosity and the self-confidence that's pulled and pushed me through my life. Each transition in my career has had that same accidental quality, and each one has required a leap of faith. So predictably, just when I was prepared for it most, I was given a great gift, the opportunity to lead at CAMH, actually to be part of a movement. It's been the most rewarding experience of my professional career, and I think it's been a gift that's made me a more accessible human being, certainly a better doctor and a stronger leader. And so receiving the Bryden Award has spurred me to reflect on my time at York. The award surfaced my gratitude for a piece of my own history that's lit a pathway to this very spot. I'm thankful for all of those chance encounters with humanity at York that let me see the world and my place in it through much bigger eyes. Thank you very much.